Well, hello there, Retro PC Durham. It's Chris here with another PC parts pickup video. These are not groceries. No, these are not groceries from Sobeys. This is a bag filled with PC parts, I think. Story behind this is a gentleman found me online on one of the buy and sell websites here in the Canada area. And he was actually looking for like sound cards or motherboards with SPDIF/Toslink connections. His dad wears hearing aids, and apparently, I didn't know this, maybe you didn't know this, news to you. If you wear hearing aids, there's certain models of hearing aids you can actually connect up via Toslink and actually get direct audio input. So this guy was looking for that. I didn't have any sound cards per se, but I did have this USB external sound adapter that actually had Toslink inputs and outputs. And he came and picked it up, and he sent me a message after where he was like super ecstatic because he was planning on installing cards into each of the machines for his dad to hook up to. But with this USB adapter, he could just carry the USB adapter around with him. Anyways, he dropped off a bunch of parts for me. I don't know if it was kind of an exchange. I said it was no charge anyway because I got that for free. But he wanted to drop off some parts for me to see if there's any stuff I could make use of. So we're going to open this up and take a look at it and see what we've got. So first thing, oh, look at this. An IBM ThinkPad dock, like a port replicator. I have no idea if this is rare or not, but this is cool nonetheless because I haven't seen one of these in ages. It's got to be a later model because look at the connector types. Ooh, got some corrosion there too. We're going to have to see if this is still even working. I don't even know if I've got a ThinkPad that will work with this, but this is cool. Look at that. So this is a 02K8668. So you let me know in the comments down below. I may have already looked it up by the time that this goes up on the site, but that's cool. Look at that. Now I guess this would probably qualify as one of the port replicators, not a dock, because it doesn't have any locking mechanism on it. It does have a Kensington lock connector here, but it doesn't have the like lock and key mechanism that a traditional docking station would have. But that's cool nonetheless. Wow, that's awesome. Okay, next up here we have a Intel cooler. This looks to be used. That's okay, it's a little dirty. I'm going to guess this is a 4-pin. I'm going to guess this is an LGA 775, but I could be wrong. We'll find out once we take a look at the actual part numbers here. So I don't know if that's probably not the part number there. Yeah, cool. All right, you can always use more fans. All right. Oh boy, look at this. We got a bag of cards and some dust flying out of them. Yum yum. Okay, we have a TV FM card, an Asus D33005, if that is familiar to you. So we've got an FM input and an RF input and a video input. I'm wondering if some of these cards are going to be ones that maybe he's had in the past for helping his dad out, and it's just, you know, whatever his hearing aids were in the past versus what he uses now, this technology was no longer viable. We've got a graphics card here. This is a PCI 109A26030, so an OEM graphics card. This is probably like an X300 card or something along those lines. I've got a number of these types of cards that came out of like Dell workstations. They're usually not that great, but in a pinch, if you've got a system that you need to put graphics into, something like this can do the DisplayPort output that it needs to. We've got a V-Stream from Conexant, a broadcast decoder with an AV input, I'm guessing. Interesting, okay. I'm not sure what that's for. Also, I'm not sure it's still going to be working with that capacitor that's been like torn right up and the lead's been torn right off the PCB as well. So yeah, that's probably not good. We might be able to heat gun that back down, but I don't have a heat gun right now. So, all right, look at that, an SB0090 Sound Blaster Audigy with EAX, PCI based, and it's got a 1394 port on it for some gosh darn reason. That's cool. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, cool. I've got quite a number of Creative Labs cards that I've kind of been collecting over the years. So this will go into that collection. All PCI based, so they're not, you know, exactly collector's items yet. All right, we've got another one of these older cards. This 8960 version 3.0. Oh, you know what? I have one of these cards, and I could never figure that out. You guys tell me. What the heck is that connector for? Is that like some kind of proprietary dongle that comes along with that? Because if it is, I don't have that proprietary dongle to use this card. Now I have 2 of them. So yeah, anyways, I'm not sure if those are any good. I hadn't thrown it away because I figured I'll stick around until maybe one of those cards comes my way. We've got a Hauppauge Win TV. And look at that. That's a PCI based Win TV. I have a Hauppauge TV tuner card that is PCI based, but not a PCIe based one. So that's actually, I think that's PCIe based, is it not? Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. That's cool. Okay, that's kind of neat having something like that around. You know, not incredibly useful anymore for like who's going to do over the air, but yeah, there is a little bit of, I'm not sure what's going on with this part coming off here. Is it missing? I can't tell if it's missing something that should have been screwed down over there or not, because the plate doesn't look like it's missing anything. I wonder if maybe there was supposed to be something screwed in over this audio connector. And it's possible that, again, this was one of the other adapters that he had installed in a computer to work. Oh, look at this. This is a Hauppauge Win TV, and it's actually got 2 chips. Header 1 and header 2, so it's like a double input? Holy cow, this guy had some serious TV tuner card action going on. Huh. All right, and it looks like we got another one. Ooh, this card actually, so this card, he asked me to see if I could clean it up for him. So I guess he still wants to use this. This is a GT240, so just a cheap display adapter. But he said the fan is really loud on it, so I'm assuming it's just old and it needs to be oiled. And look, these stickers even coming up. Anyways, it's on the other side that I got to pull the fan out and everything. So I'm going to clean this and get it back to him once I've cleaned it and tested it to make sure the fans work properly. So yeah, GT240. But you know, if he's just using display, it's fine. All right, we got a processor here. We got an Athlon. Let's flip the lid here. All right, muscles. Oh, it's kind of sticky. Ew. Okay, we got an Athlon coming through properly. An Athlon at 64X2 from 2005. So I don't think that is Windows 10 capable. And then we have, this looks like an LGA 775, so maybe we'll get lucky and it's a Core 2 Duo or Core 2 Quad. It's a Pentium D. Oh no. A 958. Pentium D 958. 3.4 gigahertz. So this one will go into my collection of like 20 LGA 775 processors. I'll have to look up this Pentium D 958 to see if it's actually got hyperthreading and NX bit and all that stuff to see if it's usable. I'm not hurting for 775s. I've got like at least a half a dozen dual core Core 2 Duos, and I think 1 or 2 Core 2 Quads as well. So, oh, what do we got here? We've got a motherboard. We have a GA G4 1MT-S2PT. Takes DDR3 RAM, and this is a LGA 775 slot. Okay, cool. So an LGA 775 motherboard, DDR3 memory it takes. That's pretty good. It's a little, I can't tell, like, I don't want to say it's dusty because it almost looks like a little bit corroded, like they're pre-corrosion on some of these ports. So this guy's going to need a good cleaning. 24 pin, got SATA ports, PCI slots. All right, good. Well, I mean, if this guy works, we can definitely make a machine based on that system board. I've definitely got the processors. I'm pretty sure I've got 4 gig, 2 gig DIMMs for DDR3 memory to go along with that, and that will be ready to go. All right, next up, we have another system board here. This is an AM2, so this is probably what this Athlon chip was going along with, but I don't even want to know what. Ew, 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 ew. This one's got a little bit of that corrosion-y looking stuff. Oh, you know what? I bet this was another one of the systems that he was using for his dad. It's got that SPDIF Toslink connector on board. Okay, so DDR2 memory, four DDR2 slots. That's good because it means we can use 1 gig DIMMs to get up to 4 gig RAM. I'm not really seeing anything bad going on here on the system board other than the and then we just need to get an AM2 processor that's going to do what we need to do. And I do think I've got about 2 or 3 of these. I'm going to remember off the top of my head if Phenom processors work in this slot or if it's an AM3 based. I think it might be because I do have a Phenom processor. If it was AM2 based, that would work perfect in this. Cool. All right. Well, yeah, and this is a, for the record here, an M4 Asus M4A7 85-M. It may be kind of hard to read from all the I don't know what hair that's stuck on it, which yeah. Next up here, this board looks a lot nicer. So this is a Gigabyte GA M68M-S2P. We've got pretty decent looking here. This is another AM2 with DDR2 memory. It's only got 2 DDR2 slots, and this is always tough for me with DDR2 memory. Finding 2 gig DIMMs to go in, and this is always hard. And I'd rather have 3 or 4 gig worth of RAM in a Windows 10 machine than less. So we'll have to see how this thing goes. And yeah, but the board itself is actually pretty clean. There's, you know, I can see some dust in the pin slots here for the USB ports, but otherwise it's looking pretty decent. Cool. Okay, so another AM2 board for us to give a try on. And last, and we'll see how much least we have this Gigabyte GA G31M-ES2L, and this board here is, I think, an Intel board. This looks like LGA 775 with, I don't even know, like, is that like dirt with mold on it? Okay. And 2 gig worth of DDR2 memory. Hey, all right. This board looks like it's in okay shape. We'll see how well it's running. Actually, is that let's look at the inside here. Yeah, that's definitely a socket 775 board. Okay, so another 775. Well, who knows what's running on it, if it's a Pentium 4, if it's actually a Core 2 Duo. But yeah, this board looks like it's in okay shape. Okay. And that should be the whole thing. Just I'll turn here, and there's the pile there. So not a bad haul. We got it's like 6 boards and a bunch of audio cards and capture cards and stuff and a couple processors. Pretty good. I can definitely make use of some things here. So, you know, my next step for these, they're going to get cleaned up. I'll go over them with a fine-tooth comb or an anti-static brush, a little vinegar in some places, a little IPA in other places. Get everything nice and cleaned and tidied and all the crap off of them. Then we'll move on to testing. The audio cards I might not test. I might just bag them up, and then if I ever need them, I'll test them as needed. But the system boards will all get tested. And whatever works, and then if I can start building machines out of them, they go into one of the many cases that I've got to work off of as well. And once we've got a working building machine, we match it up with a monitor, keyboard, mouse that's been donated, and that's ready to go off to a new home. So thanks for checking it out. If any of this stuff is, you know, recognizable to you, or if I misspoke anything, please put it in the comments. I would appreciate it. I always hope that you are staying safe and healthy, and we will catch you in the next one.